In the vast, uncharted waters of the Caribbean, there sailed a ship known as the Sea Serpent. It was a pirate ship, feared by all who crossed its path, and known for its ruthless crew and hoarded treasure. But the Sea Serpent became infamous for a different reason. The entire crew went mad, one by one, until only one sailor remained sane. It began innocently enough. The crew was sailing on a routine plundering voyage, attacking merchant ships, burying treasure, and reveling in their spoils. But as the days passed, strange things began to happen. Crew members started acting erratically. Some became violently paranoid. Others were found muttering incoherently to themselves, and a few even began attacking each other. The captain, a seasoned pirate named Black Henry, was the first to lose his mind. He started seeing ghosts on the ship, claiming that the ship was haunted by the spirits of dead sailors. Then, his first mate followed suit, hearing voices in the wind, accusing the crew of treachery. Soon, the entire ship was plunged into madness, as crew members descended into violent fits of rage, hallucinations, and delusions. But amidst this chaos, there was one sailor who remained untouched by the madness: Eli, a quiet young man who had joined the crew only a few months before. Eli watched in horror as his shipmates lost their grip on reality. While the others screamed at invisible enemies or wept uncontrollably, Eli kept his wits about him. But why was he the only one who remained sane? And what was the dark force at work on the Sea Serpent? It began with strange dreams. The crew of the Sea Serpent had been sailing for weeks, their last raid leaving them with piles of treasure. But as they set sail for home, they began having vivid, unsettling dreams. Some dreamed of drowning, others of being chased by shadowy figures, and a few dreamed of the Sea Serpent itself sinking beneath the waves. The captain was the first to break. During the night, he wandered the ship, muttering about voices and spirits. He claimed that the ship was cursed, and that the treasure they had stolen from a haunted island had brought the curse upon them. His fears were soon echoed by the first mate, who began seeing ghostly figures on the ship's deck. The crew's madness spread like wildfire. One by one, the sailors started to exhibit signs of paranoia and delusion. They fought each other over non-existent treasures, hid from invisible enemies, and screamed in the night. Their hallucinations were vivid and terrifying, and soon, the ship became a floating asylum. Amidst all this chaos, Eli remained composed. He wasn't immune to the strange occurrences. He, too, heard whispers on the wind, saw shadows flitting past the corners of his eyes, but something inside him kept him grounded. As the crew fell apart around him, Eli realized that he was the only one unaffected by the madness. Was he somehow immune to whatever force had taken hold of the crew, or was there something more sinister at work? As the days stretched on, Eli began to suspect that there was something far more sinister at work aboard the Sea Serpent than just madness. The crew wasn't simply losing their minds. They were being driven mad by something, some unseen force that had taken hold of the ship. The whispers grew louder each night, and the shadows on the ship seemed to move of their own accord. One night, Eli crept out of his room, determined to discover the truth. The ship's corridors were dark, but he could still hear the faint sound of voices that weren't coming from the crew. He followed the sounds, leading him to the captain's quarters. Inside, he found the captain staring at a strange, ancient-looking map, his hand shaking as he traced lines across the faded parchment. "The treasure," the captain mumbled. "It's calling to us. It's alive." Eli took the map and examined it closely. The lines seemed to shift beneath his fingers, leading to an island marked with a symbol he didn't recognize, a symbol that seemed to pulse with energy. He realized then that the ship's madness wasn't random. It was tied to this cursed map, this treasure, and the island they had once sailed to. The treasure was more than just gold. It was a force, something ancient and malevolent, and it had taken hold of the crew, leading them to their doom. But why hadn't it affected him? What made Eli different from the others? With the ship's curse now fully consuming every soul aboard, Eli finds himself caught in a battle against not only the crew, but the very ship itself. As the days pass, the crew's madness deepens. They no longer recognize one another as comrades. Instead, they are enemies, driven to violence by their insatiable greed for the treasure that haunts them all. In the captain's quarters, Eli stumbles upon a diary belonging to Black Henry. The entries speak of the captain's descent into madness after discovering an ancient curse tied to the treasure. The captain writes that the treasure was never meant to be claimed. It was an offering to the sea gods, and anyone who tried to take it would become a servant to the ocean's wrath. Desperate to break free from the ship's grip, Eli decides to face the curse head-on. He descends to the hold where the treasure is stored, the heart of the curse. But as he enters the dark, oppressive room, he is confronted by the ghostly figures of the crew, their eyes vacant and filled with rage. One by one, the spirits of the dead pirates rise, forcing Eli to fight for his life. The ship shakes violently as the treasure reacts to the disturbance. As Eli struggles to survive, he realizes the curse can only be broken by destroying the treasure itself. The ancient artifact at the center of the treasure pile glows, beckoning him toward it. But as he reaches for it, the ghost of Captain Black Henry appears before him, warning him, "You cannot escape. We are bound to this ship for eternity." With a final surge of strength, Eli seizes the artifact, determined to end the curse once and for all. With the artifact in hand, the ship begins to shake uncontrollably, the sound of splintering wood and creaking iron filling the air. The treasure, now exposed, seems to lose its power, and the spirits of the crew fade into nothingness. The curse that has held the Sea Serpent and its crew captive for so long begins to unravel. Eli feels a sudden surge of hope. The oppressive weight of the curse is lifting, but he knows the ship won't allow him to leave so easily. As the ship shakes, the water around it begins to swirl violently. The ocean itself seems to be angry at the loss of its treasure. With the ghosts gone, the ship is no longer a prison for the crew, but it's still a deadly force. The ship begins to sink, its timbers groaning as it is pulled into the depths of the ocean. Eli, now holding the artifact that broke the curse, races toward the ship's deck. He can hear the sound of water rushing into the ship's hull, the creaking of the ship as it collapses. As he runs, the ship's ghostly presence lingers for one final moment, urging him to leave before it's too late. With one last desperate leap, Eli makes it to the ship's lifeboat. As he paddles away, the Sea Serpent sinks beneath the waves, disappearing into the ocean with its treasure, its curse, and its lost crew. Eli watches as the ship vanishes, a feeling of both relief and sorrow washing over him. He has escaped, but the legend of the cursed treasure will live on, waiting for the next foolhardy soul to claim it.